Welcome to the Explainer. Today we are tackling a really fun one. Our ultimate goal, demystifying the secrets to building an elite, anime-inspired physique right at home, using absolutely nothing but your own body weight. Look, if you've seen Toji Fushiguro in action, you've definitely thought about how incredible it would be to have that kind of overwhelming presence and power. And ideally, without all the heavy emotional baggage that comes with his character. So, here's the million-dollar question. Is it truly possible to get Toji's insane, overpowered build without an expensive gym membership or, well, a single drop of cursed energy? Honestly, it sounds a bit like fantasy, right? But when we actually break down the mechanics of his body and apply strict calisthenics principles, achieving a build of this caliber is completely grounded in reality. You just need the right strategy. Now, in the lore of the show, Toji's lack of cursed energy is replaced by what's called a heavenly restriction. It's basically a pact that grants him heightened senses, unbelievable speed, and just raw, incredible physical strength. The side effect? His physical form is super aesthetic. The guy is, quite frankly, built like an absolute unit. What we're going to do is replicate the physical results of that heavenly restriction through highly targeted body weight mechanics. All right, looking at our physical anatomy checklist, there are some very specific aesthetic goals we need to hit to nail this look. We're talking about an incredible V-taper driven by massive lats, boulder shoulders that literally pop right out of a tight black t-shirt, and a fully defined chest. But pay close attention to that fourth point: massive, thick forearms. This is absolutely crucial, because having huge biceps but tiny forearms, it ruins the whole aesthetic proportion. We absolutely have to train the grip. Here's your action-oriented roadmap. Think of this as your very own training montage. We're going to cover Section 1, the training strategy. Section 2, pull day, back and arms. Section 3, push day, chest and shoulders. And wrapping it up with Section 4, leg day, explosive power. Let's get right into it.
Section 1, the training strategy, the calisthenics framework. Let's establish the ground rules that make this home workout effectively scale to those crazy anime-level proportions. Okay, so the absolute most crucial point here is the intensity of this regimen. The magic number is 6. You're going to be training 6 days a week, following a push-pull-leg split. That means you're focusing on one distinct movement group per day, and you only get one single day of rest each week. Yeah, it requires some serious discipline, but that consistency, that is the absolute engine of your transformation.
Moving on to Section 2, pull day, back and arms, building the V-taper. Pulling movements are pretty much the bread and butter of calisthenics. This day is heavily focused on wide grip pull-ups to really carve out those enormous lats. Going with a wider hand width puts maximum emphasis on the back, which is exactly what you need to build that signature V-taper. Now, remember those massive forearms we talked about earlier? To really isolate them, you're going to perform a false grip hang. This involves placing your entire hand or wrist over the bar, which is honestly incredibly taxing on your forearm flexors. If you're a beginner, no worries. You can scale the difficulty by doing regular dead hangs, or try a one-handed assisted version, where one hand uses a normal grip for support, while the other hand practices the false grip. So here is the exact math for pull day. You're doing 3 sets across the board. That's 8 to 10 wide grip pull-ups, 10 to 15 body rows or Australian pull-ups, 15 to 20 bicep curls using rings or a broomstick, and 10 to 15 seconds of false grip hangs. And hey, for those pull-ups, your tempo matters immensely. You want a fast tempo on the way up, but a nice, slow, controlled negative on the way down. That's how you maximize time under tension.
And this next part brilliantly illustrates just how accessible this whole program is. Body rows, also known as Australian pull-ups, are absolutely vital for back thickness. If you don't own gymnastic rings or a low bar, check out these steps. You can literally build a back-blasting row station using a sturdy broom and 2 stable chairs right from your kitchen. No weights? Honestly, no problem.
All right, Section 3, push day, chest and shoulders. Time to focus on forging the armor. Moving into push day, our main goal is building out the upper, middle, and lower chest, isolating those triceps, and really developing those boulder shoulders that are so prominent in Toji's character design. To target the shoulders, we have to emulate the classic shoulder press, but using just our body weight. The beauty of this split is that it scales perfectly with your fitness level. Beginners can start off with floor pike push-ups, then as you start feeling stronger, you can elevate your feet onto a couch. And for the truly advanced out there, you can move all the way up to intense handstand push-ups against a wall.
Let's look at your push volume. It's 3 sets of your chosen shoulder progression to start. Then, you're doing a brutal push-up superset. Hit the upper chest with 15 incline push-ups, so feet elevated above your hands, and then immediately drop into 10 to 15 regular push-ups for the mid-chest. You'll finish off the lower chest with sets of 10 to 20 dips, and finally, isolate those triceps, right on the floor for 15 to 20 reps.
Section 4, Leg Day Explosive Power, the engine. Welcome to Leg Day, everyone. Now, even though Toji is pretty much always wearing those baggy pants and we rarely actually see his legs, we are absolutely not skipping this. Think about the source material for a second. You need immense lower body power to jump around an opponent like Gojo with zero effort. Your legs are literally the engine of your explosiveness. The undisputed king of bodyweight leg exercises is the pistol squat. It's a one-legged squat that deeply targets your quads and glutes, and it is notoriously tough. It requires some intense balance. If you're struggling with that balancing component at first, do not let it ruin your workout. Simply hold onto a wall or a sturdy chair for some support so you can remove the instability and focus purely on fatiguing the muscle. Your leg day protocol is highly efficient. We're looking at 3 sets of 10 pistol squats per leg. Next, to really build that Toji-level explosive power, you're doing 3 sets of 10 to 15 jumping squats. Then you want to deeply stretch and isolate the quads with 10 reverse Nordics on a soft yoga mat. Finally, hit those hamstrings with an isometric hold. Just anchor your feet under a heavy couch, lower your hips to 90 degrees, and fight gravity for 3 sets of 10.
Ultimately, our big takeaway here is super simple, and the source material actually states it perfectly. Go outside, touch grass, find a nice local playground that has some monkey bars. They will work perfectly. You really don't need fancy equipment for this. You don't even need an exposed basement girder for your pull-ups. Monkey bars work just fine. You just need consistency, a high level of effort, and an absolute refusal to quit.
So I'm going to leave you with this final question. Are you ready to trade your excuses for a heavenly restriction and start your 6-day split tomorrow? The blueprint is entirely in your hands now. No weights, no cursed energy, just a hardcore 6-day calisthenics split waiting for you. It's time to stop overthinking your fitness, go find a pull-up bar or a sturdy broomstick and take action. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one. Stay strong out there.